Well,
Yeah, I can hear you well. I'm doing
phenomenal.
super well.
I'm glad to hear it. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm here at the Tech Barbecue in Copenhagen at the moment, and we just had an event with Buy Founders and Inception Fund. It was a YC night, so we discussed what it means to apply into YC, why you should apply into YC, and all of that.
Give me the insights. What have you learned? What was going on there? How are the vibes in? Is it Stockholm or Oslo?
It's Copenhagen at the moment.
Copenhagen. Oh, it was one of the Nordics. It was a choice of three. I picked the wrong two.
Yeah. I mean, actually, if you look in the data, Denmark is doing the best. If you look at the history data, how many companies has gone into YC, and the kind of like the what is the best value add in YC was comprised into the sense of urgency and kind of like pushing and pivoting if something is not working, and just trying to get everything to work, and not worrying about the risk, and kind of like trying your best. That's the main thing, and also of course the networks and that stuff and the mentors.
How are the talks that were had on stage at the Tech Barbecue? I understand it's over a couple of days. Can you give us some context into like why this exists?
Yeah, I mean this event is a side event at Tech Barbecue, which we hosted at Byfinder's office at Copenhagen. So Tech Barbecue starts tomorrow, like officially, and kind of like there was three Danish YC founders on the stage, and then the crowd got to ask questions, and the questions were something like they varied a lot, but for example, like how do you get in? What do you need to have in your application, and how can I prep for the interviews and stuff like that?
I love it. Do you get to learn a lot for yourself throughout that process and then deliver that value to your portfolio companies and Wave Ventures?
Yeah, of course, and we've invested in many YC cases. Last year, six from Sweden, and we were in five.
Oh
That's a good
wow.
KPI for us, and of course, like we want to help as much as possible. We are that kind of VC that we are young and ambitious ourselves, and we love to work with young and ambitious founders because we also like can resonate with them a lot. So yeah, I do learn a lot. There was also some other people from Wave team, and now when we get these learnings, we of course then push it out in Finland, in Estonia, in Denmark, Sweden, whole Nordics.
Give me some context on Wave, right? We had Max on the show. We're hopefully getting some more of the Wave team in the future. But I'd love to answer two things, or your take on two things. One, like why did you join Wave of every other VC that you possibly could have, whether that's by founders, whether that's one of the other Nordic ones, and like why VC?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think the question is more comprising the why Wave. I maybe wouldn't have joined VC if it would not have been for Wave. Um, I see Wave team as a super ambitious group of young people that are actually willing to push the extra mile for the founders. At the same time, as you said, learning a lot. Our team operates in so that we are always young. We are not going to stay here for the next 20 years. We want us to be young because often young people know talented young people, and then now with the age of AI, if you look at, for example, Legora Lovable, they are young founders, and the reason why they are young founders is that they're able to learn fast and then adapt into this fast-paced environment that we have nowadays. So myself, when I saw the team at Wave, when I wasn't in Wave, I was super impressed. They were so ambitious. They want to do great stuff. They want to push Wave forward. They want to make the best investments, give the best value adds to the portfolio companies in all the ways you can just imagine. Like we want to help in everything, and that resonates with me a lot because I was a founder and I exited my first company, but I want to do that again. And Wave model is just optimal. I get to help the most ambitious and exceptional young founders, and then also learn so much at the same time.
You talk about going over and above at Wave. What does that manifest as physically?
Yeah. I mean, when we are at Wave, it's our first priority for sure. We push Wave and we push our portfolio companies to the best as we can. Um, and in that, you can just achieve so much because I honestly think that young founders, they are the future of startups because this is so fast paced, the environment nowadays. Like Lovable reached 100 million ARR in 8 months. Like you couldn't imagine that 5 years ago. It's unbelievable. And this environment, there is so much we can do. And with young founders, like I'm repeating myself, but I honestly believe it so much. And just by inspiring and telling what is possible, like for example with this YC night, we had young people there and like told them that if you want to become a YC founder, it's not impossible. It's not something that is hanging on the clouds. You can just like apply for it. If you don't get in, you can apply again and adjust your company, adjust your interview, and get the numbers to look better. Like it's not impossible. You can actually do it yourself.
When we talk about young, ambitious individuals, what is the age that you consider young today?
Yeah, that's actually one thing we have discussed in way like we are investing in young founders. What that actually means. I mean, when we do the investment, we don't look at your IDs, so there is not a strict age for it. We kind of have said it a lot to ourselves that if you have the mentality of a young founder, so you are willing to push 100% and the extra mile, and then also are willing to learn quickly, adapt quickly in the changing environment, which is like the place we live at the moment, then you are a young founder. And often, then maybe 60-year-old people, they are more calm and don't want to go to that route. So young founder, what that means, it's more like a mindset for us, if I'm being truly honest.
That's incredible. So it could be at any age. If you
Yeah,
have the mentality, if you are building something incredible, well, we can see that talent and we want to help you build that out, get a team behind you, give you the resources. It's that type of person that you're looking for in the Nordics.
yeah, that's right. And that is usually just what young founders are, the top young founders. They are so driven, so ambitious, and willing, and they have willing to learn, and they have the capability and ability to learn quickly, and that's the most important thing.
Johannes, I've got to ask. Obviously, you've been through this founder journey yourself. You've had the pleasure of exiting a company now or it being acquired. How do you look at talent today? How do you look at these individuals, these young individuals that are building companies, building technology, not always companies to begin with, and go, that's the right person we need to invest in
Yeah,
outside of mentality? Because obviously that's the given, right? It's like you need to be wired differently.
yeah, and this is a really good question, and I've also asked this around from different founders, like what do you see when you hire people, and kind of like the keyword there is potential, and you can see potential in like so many ways. Of course, there is some things like in software where it's good that you have done some software yourself, and when like trying to find the potential and trying to get the conviction of that this individual is truly exceptional and this has so much potential in themselves, um, it's usually that they have done something exceptional in their past. It can be like anything. It can be like sports, for example. It can be,
And when we just say exceptional, do we truly mean exceptional? Like world class level, not just, oh, you've done this thing that is
yeah,
considered great
yeah,
for your age. It's you
yeah.
are on a different level.
Yeah, exactly. We are looking for exceptional people, and kind of like you said that let's not take the mindset in, but you can you cannot take it apart. Uh, it is also with the mindset because if we have two equally talented, or even the one person is more talented, but the other one is pushing just so much more, it makes them exceptional.
How do you find the Nordic system at the moment? Do the VCs work together quite well? Obviously, the events today are it's a by founders event with a larger institution. You're there as well. I assume you're part of the hosting parties. Um, do you all get on?
Yeah, that's also a really good question. Um, we at Wave, we are so different. We are friends with the best upcoming founders, and if we're not friends at the moment, probably we're gonna be friends with them in the future. So there is so much value we can give to the bigger funds also, like by founders. Because for example, I know a lot of super talented people in Finland, and they don't have the access maybe to there. So that gives us the unique access and unique value add to also to the bigger funds, and that's why we tend to cooperate with the bigger funds, that they also like us, and we also like them because they can bring the value also that maybe we can't. Hence, they are bigger fund. So there is different value adds, and that combines or comprises into really good value add.
Where do you go and find the talent today? Is it obviously you've got the founders house that you're building out, the founders house network across the Nordics. You must have your own specific alpha that you find certain clusters, areas of the Nordics that you look to pull people out of and say like, hey, we want to invest in you. Humor me a little bit. Where do you find the alpha?
Yeah, again, really good question.
We
It
try,
depends.
we try.
It depends on the country actually.
Does
So
it?
yeah, it does. It does. In Sweden, it's a bit more scattered. Like you can have the talent hubs in different cities. Of course, Stockholm being the biggest has the most talent in it. In Finland, it's more comprised into Helsinki. Of course, we see really good outliers from other cities, but it's more comprised in Helsinki, and then there are these like talent factories, some say founder factories, like successful startups and the operators inside them, because they can see the scale up phase. They can see how these successful founders work and learn from them, and then develop themselves, and kind of like create the understanding or realization of what does it actually require to build a world class company. And of course, like if we go deeper, you can find certain companies doing this better than maybe others. Certain faculties inside universities producing more top founders, and but yeah, that's the normal way. And also one interesting aspect for it is that often the most ambitious young people, they tend to gather together. So it's, if you know some talented people and they have a friend, it's pretty probable that they're also talented.
Interesting. Very interesting. I want to ask you about like, do you have any specific areas of investing that you particularly are drawn to? B2B SaaS, deep tech, consumer. Like, please don't tell me B2B SaaS always.
Yeah, I mean, I love technical teams. Uh,
Are you technical yourself?
yeah, I wouldn't say I'm super technical, but yeah, I'm somewhat technical because I've seen these super technical founders, and I can't say I'm as technical as them. Like that, that wouldn't be fair. Um, but yeah, I love technical teams. And also technical teams who have the ability to work in a sense of urgency, so that they don't have to do the MVP to the finest point, but they can just push a bit scrappy product out there and get the customer feedback as fast as possible, and then apply the feedback and then make it better. So technical team while having this commercial sense in the process.
What and those technical teams, I assume, are super high agency, right? You want a small, tight knit team that can do it all, really get a product out fast, and then iterate, find product market fit. Do
Yeah.
you help them through that process? Do you give them the guidance because they're so young, or do you just leave them by them? Like, you trust them to do it,
Yeah, depends on the team.
right?
So some teams we help a lot, like from the idea to the pitch deck, to the iteration process, maybe finding a co-founder, maybe helping with hires, There is a lot we can do
So there's an actual
from
there's,
the
there's a huge
zero.
amount of value add with Wave.
Yeah. From the zero, like from the maybe they don't have an idea yet. Maybe we can like spar and find the idea together. But then there are teams that are so driven, so that they just want to have the intros and then push themselves. And of course, if they want to do that, and we have the conviction, then we will trust them. The mentality that we have at Wave is that we will help the founders in the ways that they want themselves, because founders of course are humans also, so they differ a lot.
Wave, Wave has built out their first fund. Do you mind me asking how big it is?
Currently the fund we're operating,
Yes,
we're actually fundraising at the moment still, but
amazing.
we are now at 7 million.
And the size of the checks that you're writing, how big are they? Or does it vary at this current stage?
Yeah, it can vary, often 50 to 100k, and then we do follow-ons up to 300k, and then yeah, often the sweet spot is for us to invest as early as possible. So when you have the idea, maybe you don't have the product, but we believe you in like your founder persona. We just love you, and then we are willing to give the money and trust you with full of heart. And often then, if they raise a bigger pre-seed, we are also there if we just see the conviction.
And are you leading those pre-seeds, or is it highly likely you end up leading those pre-seeds?
Pre-seeds often we don't lead. Angel rounds we often lead.
Really interesting because it's the largest check size, right? It's larger than any other typical angel would write. Wow. What is the Nordic system like at the moment? Like, where do you spend your time typically? Are you based out of the same place as Max in Copenhagen, or are you in Finland? Are you in Denmark?
Yeah, I'm myself in Helsinki. Max, who was also in this podcast earlier, he's in Stockholm. And
Stockholm,
then we
that's
have
it.
also investors in Estonia, Tallinn, and soon hopefully opening up in Copenhagen. So trying to expand and utilize the local model. So we have young, ambitious, networked, maybe future founder in the ecosystem, knowing the people and willing to help the upcoming best founders, and also having the kind of realization what it actually takes to build unicorns, because that's not an easy road, and everyone who goes into that road has to also understand it, because it's also fair for them if they want to do it, that they understand it. But yeah, I'm currently in Helsinki, and Nordics is looking super good. Stockholm especially at the moment, and my my vision in Wave is also to bring that Stockholm energy to the whole Nordics. Like for example, now here in Copenhagen doing the YC nights, and we are doing that same work in Finland, building this or soon to be building this co-working space, and inviting young people there, telling about YC, then helping with pitch deck, as I said earlier. So there is so much we can do, inspire and give more information, and learn also from what has happened in Sweden, because we can learn. There is like clear patterns why Sweden and Stockholm is doing so well at the moment.
Are there Nordic investors that you look up to?
Yeah, of course.
And who are they?
Because I'm from Finland, I of course want to talk about Finland. There are
Please.
really good investors in Nordics, but I'll mention few from
Give me a
Finland.
flavor. Give me a flavor.
Yeah, I do appreciate investors who have actually gone through the founder route themselves, and in Finland, if you like that kind of person, you have to mention Lifeline Ventures and the people that are sitting there. For example, Timo Ahopelta, um, just an amazing story. Build a unicorn, CFR Health, and he understands the story and has actually written a books about it, and named Sandhill Road, which I'm reading at the moment. So if Timo is listening, this it's a really good book.
Incredible. Talk to me about the fundraising a little bit. You is the goal a 10 million target for Fund One? And the goal is to get there, and you're currently at 7.
Yeah, with this fund we are aiming for 10 million. So, and maybe if we go a little bit above, let's see what it is. Because we have this rotational model, institutional investors don't usually invest us because we are the only VC that is doing this kind of work, like having rotational partners. Usually it is so that you have a partner sitting in a VC firm for tens of years, and then they invest institutional investment, like for example these pension funds, then they can invest in those. So our approach has been that we go to talk to exited unicorn founders, maybe startup operators from successful startups, some family offices, and that's how we have gotten the 7 million. So we raised, for example, from Slack founder, from Supercell founder, Skype founder, Volt, Aura, these kind of stellar profiles that actually see the same as we do. So that young founders are the future, and we have to also give capital to them because that will help the whole society and also the economy of Nordics.
Has the raise been difficult? Is it a hard time to find capital, or has it been surprisingly easy because they understand the vision that you're going for?
It depends on the people. So
Right.
many people see the vision, and sometimes it's just one remote meeting and then it's done a deal. But some people, of course, because we are so unique, there is no one doing the same as we. So it's reasonable to also have the doubts. So depends a lot on the people. I think it's still harder for sure than for the like these traditional VC funds.
Is the edge then to consistently be just constantly driving attention to your portfolio companies? And so your marketing has to be just stellar and world class? Or have you found yourself finding another edge compared to other VC firms at such an early stage?
Yeah, like we have success cases. For example, Tafon raised Sweden's biggest pre-seed ever. We were I think was 1 year, almost 1 year before all of the hype. So we have these success cases that actually validate the whole idea to have young investors who know the young talented people. But yeah, of course there is like different ways. We have our own really structured plan how to allocate capital. We have calculated what is the financial returns potentially for the LPs, because that of course matters. We have to do that really thoroughly. But then it's also like all selling, it's personality, and the investor or our LP has to trust in us that we are actually gonna do this and we are gonna do it well. And they often do. Sometimes they have also some doubts, but that's reasonable. We will show them.
I love to hear it. What does the Helsinki ecosystem need to succeed right now?
Yeah. Like if we look at, for example, the last AI wave, some might call it as GPT wrapper wave, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we didn't have any success cases from Helsinki, like at least any major success cases like Lovable. But now there is the new wave coming, AI agentic wave, and we see that there is super much potential also in Helsinki. So giving the support to them and giving the intros like this, all the basic stuff, so that they can flourish in what they do. That is super important. But then looking one step ahead also, it is the fact that we have to give quality information to the next generation that is going to build the next unicorns in Helsinki also. So these YC nights, good example again, and then having events, curated events, talent meet talent, and then forms bonds and human connection, which is the starting point of future unicorns. It all starts with an idea and with the ambitious and talented group of people who then start to do something impossible and then actually are able to pull it out.
What do you want to add to the ecosystem overall? Is it just we want to just back incredible founders, as you said, and incredible companies, or is there something larger you're going for?
Yeah, of course, there is always something larger coming on at Wave. Um, like Founders House, for example, huge success in Stockholm. A lot of co-founders have met each other there. A lot of lessons learned, a lot of tips given from us, from founders, from us, from exited founders to us and the founders. Uh, Inspiration to upcoming founders. Like these places, these are the most important things to get the ecosystem rolling. So I wouldn't be surprised if something similar would be coming to Helsinki in the future. But let's see how it all goes. And that is one thing for sure that we want to do. And then in overall, adding the visibility of startups, like media, at least in Finland, can be often pretty cynical. So not telling all the best news and maybe not bringing the success cases in the startup world because it gets more clicks when something is going
Wrong better
bad.
than right.
Yeah, that's right. So there is like in all fronts, there is so much we can do, but we focus on giving the uh, tips and also the money and then creating these communities which have actual super good talent, created ones, and then push them together, and also they're gonna push themselves and each other to the journey of being a successful founder.
You mentioned the kind of the agent wave that we're experiencing this year and sort of the back end of the GPT wrapper wave.
Yep.
Do you think it's something that we're going to be able to ride out, or do you think that the agents are just a fad and we don't, and the technology actually isn't there yet?
I mean, they're gonna come for sure. Like there is no question about it. AI agents provide so much value in good use cases, and there is a lot of money allocated into that field already. Of course, the technology will develop, but also the pace of development is super fast, and for sure we can see these products in everyday use in a year, I would say.
Have you got a favorite portco company that you can call out? Like, what is one that you look at and go, "Ooh, they're building something really interesting"? I know they're all your babies. You've put your hand in a little bit of everything, right? And you've touched them all in incredible ways. But is there one or two that you can call out and be like, "Yeah, this team is cracked"?
Yeah, like you said, they are all like our favorites. Of course, we like them all and we support them all in the best way we can. But of course, as I said, there are like I do like super technical founders, and there are also business founders in our portfolio. So maybe like leading from that, I would say that there is, yeah, I would say tough on. It's unbelievable what they're doing.
I'm
Uh,
gonna get back to you on that one at some point. I'm gonna catch you on that, and we're gonna make sure we get a name out of you. Johannes, this has been
yeah,
an absolute pleasure. I'm looking forward to meeting in person in the Nordics at some point. I need a tour around Helsinki,
yeah,
and we can go
you
do a
should
live
come.
stream for the Founder House, bring in some of the incredible VCs that operate in that ecosystem. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to the deep dive that we're going to do on the Finnish ecosystem. This has been a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of the YC nights.
thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine.